Welcome back to the Gazelle. We're still here at Macclesfield, and I'm delighted that Josh Bramhall from CMR has come over to see us. Josh, thanks for making the time today.
Thank you for having me on.
So we'll jump straight in. Tell us a bit about yourself and CMR.
Yeah, so I'm Josh Bramhall, as Gary said. I'm the director at CMR. We're a recruitment agency that specialises in recruiting into, well, like I said before the record, depending on who I'm speaking to, we're a financial services recruitment agency because we do accountancy, we do payroll, and we also do suppliers to those industries. So we really, though, our bread and butter is something called the umbrella industry, which a lot of people may or may not have heard of. Contractor payroll. So we do contractor payroll, accountancy, and suppliers to those industries are the businesses that we work with. There's a team of 5 of us now, hopefully 6 by the time this goes out. We've got an offer out to a candidate. So yeah, we've been going technically since late 2023, but we officially launched in February 2024.
Fantastic. And if I'm right, you mentioned kind of that umbrella payroll, contractor accountancy, and just that kind of supplier network around it. That's your background, isn't it?
Yes, correct. So I worked for a supplier to the umbrella industry, and for a small period of time, 18 months before that, for an umbrella company. So since 2015, I think it's been, so a decade now, I've worked in and around the umbrella industry. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you had a nice stable job, and you decided to swap that for starting CMR.
Correct. Well, I did, but then towards the end of that, so I was at a company called My Digital for about 5 years, and then I had about 18 months after I had my first child, about 18 months where I was at another company, then I was back at My Digital for a bit, and I was a little bit unsettled in that final period before finally setting up my own company, because I realised I think that I was unemployable. My demands were too high and I was too impatient. So yeah, set up on my own after that.
Yeah, you get to that point where you've just got to do it.
You've got to try it, haven't you? Yeah.
And now starting a recruitment business, you get a laptop, a phone, it's really easy, right?
Yes, to an extent. But it actually is, and that's what's so good about the world of recruitment. There's so few barriers to entry that it means that anybody can set up on their own and build a successful or a business that they want to run. So it was that easy. I said this before, but credit to my former chief exec. When I told him, so John Whelan, that I wanted to set up a recruitment agency and work with the umbrella and accountancy markets again, John went away within the next 20 minutes and emailed all of our clients at My Digital, said Josh is leaving with our well wishes and he's going to go and set up a recruitment agency. And I got jobs on the back of that, and that was in November, December 23, whilst I was still employed by John. So credit to him, he allowed me to sort of do both side by side. So yeah. I didn't even have my own phone and laptop at that point, so I was even before that.
You've mentioned kind of working at My Digital and the support you got from there. And one thing from the outside that's really impressed me is, and something we were going to come on to later, is these events you've been hosting.
Yes.
You've hosted a couple now, I think, and it seems like they've gone really well.
Yeah, they've gone really, really well, to be fair. But that is full credit to the speakers and the guests that come to that and that contribute to it, because all I do in that is get people together that I know, because it all stems back to when I started in the February 24. In October 2024 was the umbrella legislation was announced that there was going to be something coming, and it was dramatic. There was a lot of people that were fearful it was at the end of the umbrella market, like every time something comes up, legislation.
That's start a business that supplies to the umbrella
market, exactly.
Right?
So it was a pretty daunting period of my business journey and my life. But on the back of that, I got a lot of phone calls from managing directors and chief execs of smaller umbrella companies that don't have these big legal departments, that were worried, what's going on with legislation? What does it mean? How do we have to react as a business? So I saw an opportunity. It first started as a WhatsApp group. So there was a WhatsApp group that we created where there was like peer-to-peer learning and sharing and all that kind of stuff going on in it. We then did our first event where, again, we got people that were much smarter and much more worthy of listening to than me to come and talk about the upcoming legislation. People thought that it went really well. The suppliers wanted to get involved, host it. Markel were brilliant. They hosted it at their offices for us in London. And then from there, it just sort of snowballed. And we've done 3 now, about 2 or 3 webinars in last year. And we've already got plans in place for our next event. So it's gone really well. It's a fun way of doing business as well, face to face and seeing people. And
that's what really comes across as well, is that you're having kind of really good fun with it.
Yeah.
And kind of another thing from the outside, and one thing we found here at Gazelle is that You know, you build it and you hope people come along for the ride. And it must be the same for you. Right? You had that network, but you still don't know who's really going to support you once you start the business.
Yeah, again, 100% with the events and with the business is always a worry. Like when I set up the business, would anyone actually want to work with us? So, but I think that fire and that like worry initially was what drove me to work so hard. Yeah. Like I don't want to just come in and working with me because they know who I am. I want to do a brilliant job for them and help them grow their businesses and help the candidates that come to us, you know, on their careers. So there's always that desire. And then with the events, like I say, we're lucky that the speakers want to get involved, that have been involved, because that's what attracts people to come and listen, really. And it's still daunting though, every event we do, there's the sort of hour in the build up to it where I sit in the room and just think, I wonder if anyone's going to turn up. Like, is this just a big setup from everybody that no one will turn up? But luckily for the last few people have turned up. So yeah, it's been good.
Good stuff. Yeah, as you say, kind of from the outside, fantastic speakers.
Yes.
You've gotten on board as well. Now, I'm going to rudely jump to my phone. I've got a LinkedIn post from last week that you put up, and you listed some of the achievements from really kind of over the summer at CMR. If you'll allow me to run through a few, breaking records every single month.
Yeah.
A team that's gone from 2 to 5 and maybe to 6, as you say, in the next few days. The events that we've discussed. Nominated for Best Supplier to the contracting industry. You've got a new investor, NED, on board, and you've launched the first ever umbrella and contract accountancy salary guide.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, isn't it?
You've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we have. But again, like all that sort of stuff that I was talking about, it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable because, like the business is doing really well, but it's all down to the fact that, well, the team that we've got and how hard they're working, the clients that trust us, and the candidates that are trusting us with their careers. Like, that's the only reason that CMI is successful. It's just my job to make sure that the team keep working hard. I keep ensuring that clients will trust us and that we keep delivering for candidates. So yeah, honestly, this summer has been unforgettable for so many reasons. Like every time, you know, every month when we close the month, we look at the management accounts, and Ian and I do a board meeting. We look back at what we've achieved, and it's unbelievable to think that, like you said, 18 months ago, I'd never owned a business or worked in recruitment. Yeah. To be doing what we're doing now, it's why I love recruitment so much. Because as we said at the start, all you need is a phone and a laptop. Sometimes not even that, in order to be able to be a success and to do well in it. So yeah, it's all really exciting, but at the same time, there's so much more that we can achieve, so much more we can do for clients, so many more clients we can work with. And all those achievements are great, but it still keeps me awake at night. The candidates that we've not been able to help find work, the clients that have given us roles that we've not managed to fill or still trying to fill for them. So yeah, there's loads of successes, but behind all of that, there's still the same fears as there was when I set up about, are we going to keep going? Are we going to keep doing a great job for people? So hopefully we do.
Yeah, there's something that really resonates with Gazelle, in that it's really easy to look at kind of where you are and the challenges you face on that particular day. But it's really important to look back and think, actually, over the last 3 months, look at everything we've done and how far we've moved on. Yeah,
I agree. And I also think like the excitement and the buzz I feel now when I'm going into work, like I love the weekend, spending time with my family, but of a Sunday evening, I am like itching to get back into work, because if you look back here, like you say, 3-6 months and how far the business has come, looking forward for the next 3 to 6 months and what we can achieve, what we can do for clients and candidates, like I keep saying, that's what really gives me the buzz and gets me excited, definitely.
Yeah. And to kind of touch on your kind of personal journey a little bit, not to make it sound too X Factory, but as you say,
I haven't got an X Factor sob story. Yeah.
So of course you're working at My Digital, kind of sales director there, and now I'm sure you had kind of like numbers and budgets and things there, but now you're looking at your own management accounts, your own kind of cash flow forecast. How have you found that personally, kind of making that shift?
So I was really lucky in the fact that working at My Digital and a few other places that I've worked over the years, the chief execs always gave me that exposure to management accounts and to P&Ls, and looking at them and thinking back when I used to look at them, I was looking at them and I was understanding them, but there's a hell of a lot of information and a lot of numbers for anyone that's seen a set of management accounts. And I wouldn't say it fully made sense, but I knew where to look and how to sort of interrogate them. The first document that I created when I said I was going to set up a business was what's still now become the management accounts. It's the same original document, and it was just all the simple stuff around revenue, spend, profit, drawings, all that kind of stuff. So looking at your own management accounts is the most comforting thing ever when things are going well, but it also scares the life out of you when you may be having a bit of a tough month, when the overheads are creeping. Yeah. And I know it's all relative, and there'll be businesses out there with bigger overheads, but the more people you bring on, the more commitments that you make, obviously those overheads increase, don't they? So yeah, it's a great document. And again, one of the things I would say to anybody looking to set up any business is to understand your accounts and understand what money's yours, what money's not, when money's coming in, when money's going out, liabilities, risk, and just to get your head around a set of management accounts. And a good accountant should be able to explain that to you in layman's terms.
Yes.
My accountant was brilliant. Oh, he's still brilliant at doing that for us.
Well, you know that world, right?
Yeah, but like, it's dangerous. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, isn't it? So I understand that world, and I understand a lot of the concepts and the way that the world works. But yeah, my accountant's brilliant. So I'd say if you're setting up your own business, partner with an accountant that you can WhatsApp 24/7 like I do in mine with random questions that come into your head.
It's interesting you mentioned the overheads, because I mean, it's something we find. The business grows, you want to do more and more, but those costs, just agreeing to one thing here, agreeing to another thing there, it all just starts to creep up over.
Yeah, definitely. And you always hear of recruitment companies that scale really, really quickly and then either have to draw back and make a load of cuts or go out of business. And it's because I think they commit to too many people and to too much tech, and all those sort of overheads just run out of control. You have a month where maybe your billings aren't where they need to be, and if there's not enough money left in the company because you've not looked at the management accounts and aren't running it sensibly, then you're going out of business. So yeah, I'm a bit too stingy, I think, but I know that I need to stay that way, because as we grow, silly things like software licenses, or we're about to move into an office that fits 10 people in. So I've negotiated the life out of that for the last 3 months to make sure that exit terms and all that kind of stuff is fitted in, and we've got a great deal. But now it's like we've got a little Nespresso coffee machine in our office that was 150 quid when we first set up, and people are pressing for like a £300-400 one, and to subscribe, and get all these pods. No, like I can't, because can you imagine if we have a really bad month and then we've got a flipping 500 quid coffee machine in the corner with £200 worth of pods? Can you believe it? Like, I just couldn't enjoy that. So yeah, I mean, there is a happy medium, and maybe I'm too far one way, but yeah, I think watching the cost and keeping a control on everything as much as you can is a sound bit of advice.
Particularly in the early days as well, you don't want it to get...
Well, even, because we've got ambitions of being a multi-million turnover company, and I, rightly or wrongly, still think that when we're at that point, I will be looking at how much the coffee's costing us and stationery subscriptions and all that kind of stuff to make sure that nothing's getting out of control. Yeah.
Now, to rewind a little bit, you mentioned spending time on the weekend with your family. Now, one thing I didn't mention from that list of achievements is that you're doing all of this. And I was up half the night last night with a 3-year-old, so you have my a piece of 3 kids under 3.
Well, our eldest, I say that because it sounds more dramatic. Our eldest turned 4 in August, so I can't say that anymore. I've got 3 under 4, which isn't as impressive, but yeah, and full credit to my wife, because if she saw me sitting there pretending like that was all me that looks after the kids and does all of that, she'd be rightly saying it's not the case. She is brilliant with our kids, and she looks after them. She's got the routine down to a T. On the weekends, I probably ruin that routine and get in the way and try and do stuff. But yeah, without a supportive partner allowing me to do the stuff I do with work, I wouldn't be able to make such a success of it. But yeah, it's carnage, but I love it, because you're going to work, 24/7 work, but going into the office and you're dealing with all the challenges throughout the day. As soon as you get home, you got the challenges of a 4-year-old that's just started reception and got their own stuff that they're dealing with. So yeah, it's good fun. It's full on. Like you, I never get a night in my own bed. I'm constantly lying on my children's floors in their beds, or going to sleep at 9-10 o'clock at night because you're exhausted, but then up between 2 and 6, then up for the day. So it's good fun though. I do really enjoy it. Yeah.
But as the business gets older and the kids get older, it's going to get easier, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. But it's funny, because whenever you speak to people that have got older children that are running a business, they say like they miss them being so young because it was easy when they were young. Whereas I think, God, like you, like when our kids get to a certain age, it'll be well easy because they'll be taking themselves to school, they'll be doing their own breakfast, and then I can work more and more. But different challenges at different points. But I'm really excited for both the challenges at home and the challenges professionally over the next few decades, hopefully.
So a final bit to touch on, really. You mentioned before about your aspirations for the business. Mm-hmm. So we've been for the achievements from the last few months. What's next for CMR?
to continue and to be able to say that every 6 months and just look back and think we've kept breaking records. But CMR, I want it to continue, as I say, to keep delivering a service for clients, for candidates, keep providing for the people that work in it. I want it to be a brilliant place to work. I want it to return the investment that Ian's made into it. So there's so many different people that become dependent on this non-tangible thing that is CMR. So I want that to continue to be successful for the next 20, 30 years, however long it goes on for. I just want to keep having fun with it, both professionally and personally, which I am doing at the moment. Yeah,
and I love that non-tangible phrase, because it's the crazy thing with these things, and like with Gazelle, you remember when it was just an idea.
Yeah.
Now it exists, and people are emotionally invested in it, financially invested in it, and it's, as you say, like that kind of journey to come that far, it feels good, right?
It's good fun, isn't it? And I think I remember looking when I first set up about looking into all sorts. I think it might have even been pre-Chat GPT, but what is a company? And a company, the best way I ever explain it, it's like a collection of people working towards like a common goal. But so it's that people element. That's what I really love about it. What we do is a people job, like speaking to people 24/7 about helping them find work, helping them find people for the team, finding people for our team, helping them do their jobs. So I just love the people element and never having a minute's peace. It's because without getting too dramatic about it, you never know what will happen in life. So could you imagine if I walked out of here and got hit by a bus crossing the road? I want to be able to think I tried as much as I could in the period of time that I had, and hopefully it doesn't lead to burnout or getting hit by a bus. It's all really successful long term. But yeah, you must be the same with Gazelle, because you guys are obviously flying. So yeah, you must be the same in terms of the excitement and wanting to do as much as you can with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of what you said earlier about, you have the weekend, you love your family, but then as Monday's coming, you're like, I just want to get stuck back into it. It's exciting, doing things like today, meeting yourself, and just thinking forward to, when we have that meeting in a few months and we look back over these few months, what have we achieved, what have we built, and it just means a lot, right? You're just doing something that's worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely creating opportunities for you and your family as well. And I can't remember who it was that said it, but I remember seeing something about a year or two ago, and it was like, you've got two choices in life. You can either be that man in the pub when you're 60, or that person in the pub when you're 60, blaming everybody else for the fact you never made it, that you were nearly there, you lost all these opportunities because of other people. Or you can be that person at 60 that's got too much going on in their life and doesn't go into the pub. And I never want to be that bitter old person that's blaming everybody else. I want to be that person that's still out there at 60. Not that that's old, 70, 80, whatever age it is, but still trying new things and just doing as much as I can with my life.
But you still go to the pub though, right?
Yeah, it's true. Although, will it be a thing in, what's that for me, 25 years? I'm not sure, Alcohol-free pubs will be a thing then, won't they? So, yeah. But no, it's good fun in it. And like you say, doing stuff like today, like setting up the business has taken me down so many mad, enjoyable different avenues that, I love it. Sitting here today in Macclesfield Stadium is something I never thought I'd end up doing, but here we are. I probably thought 20 years ago I'd be playing because I thought I'd make it, even though I was terrible as a footballer. But I think it's the closest that I'll get.
Yeah. There might even be some people kind of watching past us. I'm pretty sure some pretty good goals have been scored behind us while inside here.
I think they're like under 15s or something, and I don't think I'd get a game with them.
One final point, and I'll let you get back on with your day. So you specialise in the umbrella sector, kind of contractor accountancy, and a kind of world and area you've known before. What is it about that kind of world and that industry that means so much to you?
It's the pace and the people that are in it. So the reason that I have such like a fierce pride over this industry is because of the chief execs that run the businesses, the people that are in those businesses, and the people that work. Saying the same thing. The people that work in the businesses are all brilliant people. So I love the fact that we get to help them on their career journeys or building their teams. And I also think the umbrella industry is littered with people like recruitment that have come into it with little or no business experience and managed to make multi-million turnover businesses, have exits and create successful lives for themselves. So I just love the industry, and I think it gets too much unfair criticism from people that don't understand it, don't take the time to realise what it is, because when you Google it, all you see is about all these dodgy schemes. So there is a dodgy part of the market and a dirty part of the market, but there is in any market. Unfortunately, it gets more press on the positive side of it.
Yeah, one thing I love is how resilient it is. I mean, I know kind of a key feature of the events you've held are just kind of changes that are coming up in the sector. I mean, we had a mutual friend of ours, Joe, on the podcast recently, kind of talking about joint and several liability, employment rights bill, and there's constantly kind of waves of regulation and changes coming at them that they've got to change and adapt.
Yeah, definitely. I think over the last decade, there's been that when I've been in the industry, every autumn or whenever it is that the budgets are released, every time there's a budget release, there's some sort of tax legislation or some sort of employment legislation that either intentionally or unintentionally impacts the market, because it's employment and tax, the umbrella market, that's what it does. So it's having to adapt and to change every 12 months. And before that, for 15, 20 years since it was created. So yeah, no 2 years are the same. And again, that's part of the pace and the enjoyment that I find about it. And I think a lot of people that work in it enjoy about it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Josh,
we don't
really appreciate you coming around today. Yeah, let's go have a game.
Yeah, nice one. Thank
you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Thank you.